This is a video of Jumma Game Developer. Welcome to this channel. New here? No problem. I am Utsav Chakma and I am the creator of this YouTube channel. In this channel, you will get Godot, Unity, Game Maker Studio, Blender, Adobe Illustrator, etc. tutorials. They are all beginner friendly videos. But Godot is the main game engine of this channel. It means you will get Godot videos more than others. And this video is to a video of Godot. We have discussed about a few fundamentals about Godot in previous videos. If you are interested, move inside my channel to check my previous videos. Today we'll discuss about a node named animated sprite. This node combines some pictures and makes an animation. We'll also discuss about the codes which are important a lot to use animated sprite. So let's start learning animated sprite right now. In order to do this tutorial, you will need some asset. This is the asset pack of it. You can download it. You should download it. Actually, it is important to download it because we will use this thing in our game. But you can also draw by yourselves these things. But I think it's good to start with these asset packs on here. It is easy to use others free assets rather than more than using the assets you will make by yourself. You will need a lot of work to draw these things, but assets makes these things a little easier. They are pre-made things which you can add to your game without of doing some things just by yourself. In order to download this thing, you will need to move to the downside of the video of this video and move to description, and there something will be written asset link. Click the right side of it of the asset link written thing that will be marked as blue word, and by clicking there you will move to here, and after that you should click on download and it will download your project on here. And after downloading it, it should look like something like more enemies animations like this. We are using an enemy to animate, or it would be good for making whatever that is. So after that you should also have something called WinRAR installed in your computer. It's if you don't have WinRAR in your computer, so its download link is also given in description. You can download WinRAR from there. After that, if you have now WinRAR installed, it should have inside of your computer. If you use computer daily, you will need it, so you should have it installed already. So I think it's now, yes, it is time to extract files to the directory where you want to put your game. It's where my game is, it's where my Godot game is, and I am going to put here my game, my assets in this thing. You'll put it by just right click on it, extract files, then you will move to this window, and after that you should put you should find the directory where your Godot game is, and after that you should click on new folder, then create a folder named asset by clicking on new folder and renaming it. After that, click on that assets folder and click OK. It will be extracted immediately inside of your computer. Now this is inside of our project, the assets folder. If you don't know how to open a project, so you would be a complete beginner, I think. You need to gain some experience from watching my videos, my other videos inside of my channel, such as follow the project. If you are a complete beginner, the top down car game making tutorial, you will gain some experiences from there. If you not a complete beginner, so you'll understand which is the main directory of the Godot game engine's game projects. And if you do not know these things, so you will need to know a lot of things, and for that you will also need to know how Godot works. You will understand how Godot works by watching some of my tutorials. Watch them to gain some experiences if you are a complete beginner. And you can see it's now inside extracted that asset to here with WinRAR software, and now we are ready to apply our animations inside of our Godot game engine. If you open Godot now, you will see that Godot is configuring all the assets you have made, and after that you should have a scene. I haven't created any scene. I am showing you everything from the beginning, from how to create the scene and what to do for creating animation sprites. If you don't know how to create a scene, so then also you can be a complete beginner. You should gain some experiences by watching some tutorials. You can also follow my tutorials. If you don't want to follow other tutorials, so you can just click on 2D scene on here. Oh, at first it should look like this, but if you click on this, it was selected on 3D. Now you can see it is selected on 2D. You can understand this by watching the blue mark, and this is actually called 2D scene. If you are old subscriber of me, you will understand because you have watched some of my tutorials about Godot game engine. Whatever that is, we are going to attach an animated sprite. Right click on the parent object, click on add child node, and that's how you'll add some nodes on here. It would be look like this at the beginning, and what you'll need to do, you can search for a node called animated sprite, and here it is, animated sprite. Now currently this means that this node has some problems, and the problem is actually it has no frames, no pictures inside of it, but it is a node which controls pictures of a game object. You can start adding new things by selecting animated sprite or whatever name with this icon, and new sprites, and then after that you should select this thing again, and it would open this window downside on here. This is an extra window for us. Many nodes have extra windows like this, up or down, but we don't need to talk about those all windows on here to understand this animated sprite. We'll just need to think about this new window which is just appeared inside of our Godot game project. And after that, these are some buttons that I will move to and explain them. For now, just let's name it idle first. And idle means, if you are about English, you will understand idle is something on which condition something is in normal condition. It is not walking, it is not running or swimming or climbing. It means it is just something like and breathing, whatever. You will understand about that if you are an Englishman. Now, as the meaning of idle, we should choose a picture for this state which actually shows the meanings of idle. There are many pictures you will get, climbing or walking, like things like that. But for now, you can see this picture is something which takes the meaning of idle. It means it will not move or do nothing. It will just sit around like this. Oh, first of all, this is an animation with only one picture, and with only one picture this looks like, damn it, that message will not appear in your computer. That just came out in my computer. Okay, so where was, oh, okay, I was saying that it's idle is an animation which has only one picture in our Godot game. You can add more pictures to make it feel like it's breathing, that character is breathing. But this is actually what the one animation is. But what if you want to add animations like walking, climbing, swimming or things like that? You should move to this button here, and it will create another animation tab for you. You can click there and name it whatever animation you like. I am currently going to give the walk animation on here, and then I should try to find something called walk like this, and then I want to also show you another thing that I need to show you now. That is, when the game starts, it should be playing one of these animations, but which one it should show. The way to tell Godot what animation to show first is under this animated sprite tab, animation, and under here drop down button, then click the animation you want to show. If you click on idle, it will show this idle animation. If you click on walk, so it will show this walk animation on here. If it is playing, so it should be look like it is really look like walking. But if you add more animations by clicking on here, their options will be shown on here, and you can choose one of them to play at the start of the game. And if you disable this playing button, it will actually show the animation that you want to select, that you want to show at first on here, but it will not run that animation. It will show the first frame or the second frame by this option on here, or the 0 frame of the animation tab currently selected. Then what you will need to know, then you can also delete the animation you have selected by clicking on this. Now we should add some more animations like walking. They are on here on inside of these assets. We just need to drag and drop those things by clicking on here. We should give them some animations. Wait, what the hell? Oh, okay, it's actually not visible because it's playing the climb animation right now, and so as climb animation has no pictures, it is empty. If you drag and drop these things on here, it's really looking like it's climbing up, right? So that's how animations works. And another important thing is speed. I am just talking about it. Wait, about that, first let's add swim too. And what this speed does, this speed actually shows how much speedily it would change the animations pictures, such as if you give here 15, you can see it's changing the picture very quickly, and it's looking a little bit funny. 13 is the max amount. It will not look like it's showing it speedily, but it is actually showing it speedily, and as it is not able to cover, our eye is not able to cover that speed, it look like that it is moving slowly, I mean changing animations pictures slowly, whatever. Now we have talked about this is the animation which it should play when the game is run like this. Oh, it doesn't haven't saved. We should save it. Now you can see the animation that is selected on here will be played when the game is started, and this I will not explain it on here. Okay, I should explain it. I think this is actually the number of the picture, the number there will be put it, that number of picture will be played, shown. It means you can see 0 is coming on here. The 0 means this picture and the 1 means this picture. You can see, understand them by watching the numbers at the downside of these pictures. Same to all other things except of idle. You don't need frame, it's only one, it has only one picture and it should only play through that picture, whatever. Now we have added everything that we will need to play as animations. Oh, another thing I should explain displaying. If you have this turned off, it will not play the animation or I mean not change through the pictures. If you have it on, so it should be played like this. There are a lot of things you will not understand if you are a beginner. Don't worry, you will understand them by watching through my tutorials that I'll upload next. You can hear some extra sounds coming out of this. I should stop recording until that sound isn't stopped. The center is actually, it's the picture's center should be at the right, at the place where the picture should start drawing. If you turn it off, you can see it starts from the top left corner, but if you have it on, you'll see it will be at the center of the game object. There are some complicated things like these icons you will see will not be things to tell you, but there are also offset and flip edge, which flip edge is actually it will, what it will do is actually it will move it from inverse the picture from left to right. You can see what happens if I turn it on. If I off it, moves, it shows the right angle. And then flip B is the same, but it inverses from up to down. You can see what this thing does. So we can now, and I have just show you how to play these animations. Now I can show you how to play different animations through keyboard inputs, such as if we press 1, it should show idle animation. If we press 2, walk animation. If we press 3, climb animation, like that, so on. Whatever that is, I am going to show you how to move through these different things. Let's first attach and script to it. This is where the game script should be saved, and this is what you will need to select as GD script. Native script and visual script, they are actually different. Oh, I didn't told you guys that we are going to control this by inputs. The animations we are going to control with inputs, and the way to do that is with scripting. And GD scripting is a programming language which we should do by keyboard. I mean program by keyboard. You'll understand what I'm saying. Don't worry, if you're a complete beginner, I'll tell you about this script thing. First of all, let's delete this thing. We actually want this thing to be done every time we press a key, to tell a computer something do every time, not able to do every time, but to say to computer that to run something 60 times per second, we should use a function called process. Don't worry what is a function, you'll not need to understand this as a complete beginner to understand this thing. Just remember that if you write function process like this, it should run the things downside right and things of it. I mean, under, if something is under this function process delta, it will apply 60 times per second, and it's really enough to get keyboard inputs during that time. And what we should do is to apply something like an animation. To apply an animation, we should write play. These are called methods. You'll again don't need to understand this what are methods too. You'll just need to put the name of the animation you want to play. If the animation is invalid, it will play the, I mean this, if this name is empty or not true, so it will play the default animation that there is shown, such as we haven't put it anything, so it is showing the default animation. The default animation shows even when we don't put anything on here. But now let's see what we should do. we should play this idle animation when the game is played. To play that, you should just write the name of the animation you want to play. In our case, we want to play this animation which name is idle, and as its name is idle, we are going to put its name idle on here. Now if you set this play the thing, so it will not play its default animation. It is playing currently the idle animation. You can see it is the idle animation is like this. You know about it, I just show you about that. Then let's think we want to play this through keyboard inputs. So what should we do to play with keyboard inputs? We should use something called if statement to check keyboard inputs, and to apply them you should write inside of if statement. Oh, I should also tell that how I will understand that these things are under this process. I will understand them if they are downside of if these things, the codes are downside of this function process delta, and if they have a space on the left side before the thing, so then it means that code is part of this function process delta. If there is no space there, the thing is off. I mean, if there are no lines, like if there, you can see I had written function method, or I can call anything to it. I'm writing this extra thing. You can see fast it's if I will understand that this something is part of a method, I mean like a method like function process delta, it will be under that function process delta from this to this. What means that from the beginning is from the downside line of it after every space to the statement where it has no space. So the things that are under our process delta is our function process delta is the play idle, because it is the start of downside of the process delta, and this is after a space of this function process. And why this is not part of function process delta? Because it has no space after, even if it is downside of function process, and the function process area stops right here where there is no space. So I think you'll understand now how this process delta could be under something. Now we should think about how to play this idle by idle or walk animation, whatever, to keyboard inputs. We should think about something called if statement. This if statement, oh, we don't need brackets on here, it is not unity. I'm explaining it. Wait for a second. Is action just press, and wait, you should also need to understand before this about the inputs. The inputs you will able to get is by these things. I have already created some inputs on here. Well, how to create them? To create them, you should write some input name on here. Click on, after naming it, click on add, and after that you should tell the computer which key to press to make this one, or the thing which is parent of this key is true. Like if we press 1, then okay, it will be 1 will be child of 1, this one will be child of this parent, and then when we press the 1 key button, this thing will be true, and when this thing will be true, and the thing will happen, we will do on here like this, putting here 1. And what this if thing doing, this if thing will actually do, when this thing is true, this if statement will write the things written downside of it. So I think that this will be applied, the downside written things will be applied. So if we write play idle, that we just saw how to do that, I mean how the play function works for animated sprites. So it will play the idle when this thing is true. When this thing will be true, this thing will be true when the 1 button is pressed. I mean when this thing will be true, this if statement will be true, and it will apply this thing, the downside writing thing. And when this one will be true, this one will be true when we press this button, I mean this 1 button of our keyboard, this one will be get true, and it will make the if statement true, and if statement will then apply this thing. Let's just play test it. It is currently playing the default animation, and if we press 1, it stops. That will be very interesting for a complete beginner. And like that, I'll explain these things, but wait for a second. So when the 1 button is pressed, it should play this idle animation, but when something called 2 is pressed, we didn't create it yet, but we should create it. Let's first create them one by one, like this, and then adding the same way as the 1 button, no, not 5, 4, like this. So when the 2 will be true, this 2 will be true. When the 2 key is pressed, when the 3 key is pressed, this 3 will be true. When the 4 key is pressed, the 4 will be true. So you can see when the 2 will be pressed, 2 will be true, and this if statement will be true. Same for these things. Then if 2 keys pressed, we want this thing to play another animation. Let's say something like the climb animation on here. Put the animation you want to play: climb, walk, swim, whatever. So the last I will explain the code. When the 1 key is pressed, this 1 will be get true. When this, I have just show you in the input manager on here that if the 1 key is pressed, this 1 will be true, and when this is true, this if statement will be true, and when this if statement is true, it will write the things in the things written inside of its area. If under the its area there is the play idle method, so it will play the idle. Same for this all things, these 2 to 4 things. Then also I am explaining this two line. You will understand then these two lines. I think if the 2 keys pressed on here, these 2 keys, if this 2 key is pressed, this thing will be true, and if this thing, that 2 thing is true, it means it's the thing which will be true, the 2, then this whole if statement will be true. And what will happen, this right and downside thing, I mean the thing that is written inside of this if statement will be applied. If that is applied, as this is a part of this area, if statements area, so this thing will be applied, and if this thing applied, so it will play the climb animation with this play method, because of this play method, because of this climb name, and things are same to these 3 and 4. I think you'll now understand these things. Now if I play and press 1, 2, 3, 4, there are different animations you have saw. So that's how you will control the animations. But what if you want to flip it left to right? Same, there is a built-in input that I'm going to show you just in a minute, that is called UI left, I think. Yes, UI left. I'm explaining it, wait for a second. I'm also explaining this flip thing, flip it. Okay, now it's time to show you guys what these codes are meaning. There is another input which is named as UI left, which will be true if the left arrow key is pressed. If the left arrow key is pressed, so that UI left will be true. If that is true, this thing will be true. And if this thing will be true, this if statement is true. And if this if statement is true, so it will apply the downside setting things of it. Its downside setting thing is flip edge, and this is something called variable type bool. I'll not explain about variable here because you will not need to understand right now before to understand those things. If you write true after a equal on the flip edge, it will actually turn this flip edge to true, and if you press the right arrow key, you know this thing will be applied. I have just shown you how if statement works, and then as it will apply this thing, this flip 8 will be equals, if you write here false after a equal, it will be turned off and it will flip to the right, it will turn to right side. If this is true, it will flip 8 will be on and it will move, look to left side. It's what the power of the script is. We can control things with inputs and make AI things like that. If you now see, I press left, it turns to left side. If I press right, it turns to right side. You know now how it is working by these codes. I have explained you about these codes. So that's all you will need to know about animated sprite. Animated sprite is a little much complicated, not much complicated, but it is important to understand. Actually same to the flip B, remember. You will write flip B equals false or true in that case. Flip B is actually flipping from up to down. I told about it on the video. For my old subscribers, they would remember I said I'll upload 2 videos last week. I did uploaded one, but I wasn't able to upload next one. I wasn't able to upload the next one. That next video is actually this video, and this week I am going to upload another one. I have created a Facebook page where I'll upload channel up where I'll post channel updates. Also, if I get any problem at uploading, I'll post the problem there, so you guys will understand why I can't upload. If I don't upload for a long time, the reason will be also posted there. If this video is helpful, like this video, comment anything like questions, problems, etc. If you want to help me, so you can help me by sharing this video. It will help me to get more views. If you are a beginner in game development, so subscribing me would be better for you, because it will give you beginner friendly tutorials where I'll explain fundamental steps that can help you. We'll meet at the next video. So until that, stay safe, stay healthy, happy game developing. Bye.